Jared Drake, here, I'm going to put you right over here. Right there. Anybody going to ask them a question?
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready, Max?
I'm good to go. If they're good to go, yeah.
What was the initial attraction to Pitt for you?
Initial attraction was probably the staff here's attraction to myself. When I started opened up the recruiting process for a second time, was kind of sitting back waiting for schools to come to me. Coach Salem reached out. That kind of got the ball rolling. But then after that, enjoyed my visit here, enjoyed the guys here, enjoyed the opportunity here. Got a great team, chance to win a lot of ball games, and so all that kind of coming together felt like it was a great opportunity for me.
Has the last month been kind of a whirlwind? I mean, having to move here, find a place to live, and it all kind of happened pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, the past 3 months has been a whirlwind. Past 36 hours, I've figured out my school, figured out my place to live, so that's kind of been crazy but productive in its own right. But yeah, past 3 months is probably it's been crazy. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. But no, it's good to finally be here.
Were you surprised how things turned out at USC for you?
It was, yeah. It's not how you write it up. Not what I envisioned, 4 months ago. I mentioned 3 months ago. It's not what I envisioned 4 months ago, but I'm happy for my guys, happy they got that win, but even more happy to be here and kind of lead this program and get things rolling.
Did you know much, or did they tell you much about the success Nate Peterman had as a transfer quarterback here? And if so, did that factor into your decision much?
100%, especially him being a grad transfer himself. Obviously, he had 2 years instead of the one, but the success he had under Coach Canada and Coach Narduzzi was something that was attractive to me. As far as a quarterback putting up numbers and offense putting up stats, all that together was definitely a great factor for me.
You mentioned that Coach Salem was the one to reach out to you. Was there any sort of trepidation about coming to a place that didn't have its offensive coordinator situation figured out? And obviously that's going to be someone you're going to be working a lot with in the future.
Yeah, I think with any process like this, there's a lot of factors at play. That was just one of the factors, but I was comfortable enough with with Coach Narduzzi and what he was telling me and all that stuff that I'm confident he'll get another great offensive coordinator. So not worried about it, but definitely excited. Like all of us probably are, of who that name's going to be.
Maybe it's kind of weird to think about yourself, but if you could put into words just kind of what player Pitt is getting in you, how would you kind of assess it?
They're getting a grinder. They're getting a guy who's knows how to work, knows how to lead, knows how to just go out there and get after it. I think that's something I want to show the guys here early on. Haven't necessarily played a lot of ball in the past 4 years, but I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of ball, experienced a lot, whether it's coaching changes, whether it's whatever it may be. I've seen a lot and kind of looking forward to using that experience and leading this team towards some wins.
Were the hard lessons you learned serve you well here at Pitt?
I like to think so. I think it'll serve me well at Pitt and just for the rest of my life. You learn a lot as far as kind of persevering through, but I'm excited to be here and make the most of this last opportunity.
So here's the thing.
How do you enter the spring? I mean, mentality-wise, what's these next few months going to be like for you, other than obviously learning probably a new playbook?
Learn a new playbook. Done that a few times before though, so it's probably just it's my last shot. I'm all in. So gonna get after it these next. I know the routine. As far as January and February, and then rolling into March as far as spring ball. So gonna work, gonna prepare, learn the offense like the back of my hand, and be ready to go come spring ball.
One of the things Nate talked about was the challenges coming in and being a leader of an offense when you have guys that have been here for 4 years and you're just coming in. Obviously, he had 2 years to do that. You're only going to have one. How do you anticipate that as a challenge, and sort of, I guess, what's your game plan on that front?
My game plan is just to be myself. Being myself at my previous school led me to a captain position, so I know that if I'm just myself and go out there and do what I'm comfortable doing, things will fall into place. I know it's going to be tough. It's not going to be the easiest thing. Obviously, you have some experienced guys on the offense, but if I just go out there and be myself, I feel like I'll fall into the leadership role or not, whatever it is. As long as it's helping the team win, that's what I'm comfortable doing.
Getting your job yanked after 3 games is kind of a weird thing. Did you think maybe they're very fair for you at USC?
It was a tough first 3 games. Played some great opponents, but that's the product of kind of SC in general. Is you always kind of got someone behind you, but at the same time, went out there, did what I felt like I could, and things didn't work out. It is what it is, but happy to be here.
what was it like for you watching the rest of USC season with Darnold at the helm, and then did you get a chance to watch the Rose Bowl? What's your reaction like watching that game?
Yeah, can't say it was easy. Obviously, it's kind of felt like it was my team. So when someone else kind of takes your job, it's not the easiest thing. But at the same time, I was sitting on my couch back in Washington watching the Rose Bowl, rooting for my guys. I'm happy they got their ring, especially that senior class, the junior class that I came in. Those guys were there with sanctions, and I've been through 3 or 4 head coaches. So for them to kind of end their careers on that, I was happy for them, rooting for them. Those are my guys, always will be. But it wasn't the easiest thing. You learn from it, and hopefully I can kind of take those experiences and bring them here for some success.
How do you got a little head start on the Pitt State rivalry too, then?
Yeah, exactly. There was part of me was, I wanted my guys to win, but then, Penn State, and then that rivalry starts here, so I couldn't root for them. So, got the ball rolling early.
Did you take any other visits besides coming here?
I didn't. Nope, this was the only one.
Did you tell yourself once you visited here, you have made up your mind?
I knew coming here that the factors looked good before I even stepped foot on Pitt's campus. That I was like, they got all the pieces seem to be lining up. But then even when I got here, got to know the guys, saw some practices, got to know the coaches better. It seemed like a perfect fit, and that's why I wanted to pull the trigger quickly after. The only reason I didn't commit right after was I had to move out of my apartment in LA, and so I just didn't want to deal with the media storm, if I'm being completely honest. So that's why I waited like a few days just so I could move out and then be on my phone to help you guys out and talk to all you guys. So that was kind of the gist with that.
You're clearly the most experienced quarterback on the roster. What kind of playing time conversations did you have with Coach Narduzzi?
Anywhere I go, I'm going to have to compete and win the job. I know that if I don't play, I'm not going to, or if I don't play well, I'm not going to win the job. I learned that firsthand throughout all the competition battles I've had. But if I play well, which I know I can play at a high level, I feel like I've shown that. If I go in and do that here, I feel like I'll be just fine.
No concerns about, they're going to have to hire a new offensive coordinator. No concerns about going into a situation where you're not exactly sure what the offense is going to look like next year?
Not really. Had to learn 2, almost 3 offenses during my college time, so that's not going to be something totally new. I think we're all excited to kind of know who that name's going to be, but I have full faith in Coach Narduzzi kind of finding that next big name and putting up a lot of points on the scoreboard this year.
How do you think those setbacks at USC will motivate you to put together this last season and make it one to remember?
It just fuels the fire. Felt like I've always kind of been a hard-working kid, motivated kid, dedicated kid, and so when things don't necessarily work your way, it's just kind of fuel to the fire, and I kind of got, or I do have one more opportunity here, and just ready to make the most of it and attack it each and every day.
From what I read, I guess you kind of knew before the end of the regular season that you were going to transfer. At that point, did that make enrolling early at your next school kind of a no-brainer for you?
Yes and no. I kind of knew right when I lost my job that I was probably going to be out, and that's why I got the permission to contact so early. That was kind of a surprise to some people. I think I got it, if I remember right, like late October, early or mid late October. So I got the ball rolling early, and that was when I got it that early. I kind of knew that I needed the extra time. That if I was going to go somewhere in January, it would be useful to have that extra time. But I didn't want to rush into anything. I knew this was my last opportunity last year, but I also knew that if the fit was right and I felt comfortable with the school, it's beneficial for both sides to get in January, get the spring ball, get me used to the guys, the staff used to me, all that kind of thing, and that was what I found with Pitt, and that's why I'm here.
That's not something you did out of high school, right?
That's what I did, yeah.
Oh,
so I enrolled early out of high school, just like Kenny did, or is doing now, and that got me the ability to kind of graduate school early and get a head start. And back in the day, I got a shot I competed for the job as a true freshman, and that was a big reason why I went in early at SC.
So what was your major and what's your grade point?
I majored in communications undergrad with a minor in entrepreneurship. I had a GPA of 3.5, and then I am almost done with my MBA at SC, and so I'm starting a new grad program here. Cats, yep. So getting my master's in customer insights here, and then going to finish that last little chunk I have at SC at some point down the line.
Did seeing Nate's success,
Yes, of course.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good luck
Yeah,
to
of
you.
course. Appreciate it.
Did seeing Nate's success, he came in as a grad transfer and about his third game and he was starting. Did that sort of, is that an attractive, knowing that Coach Narduzzi was going to give guys a chance right away? Did that play any
It played a role. I think it was more so just the fact that I saw a team kind of embrace him and a guy that had success on the back end of his career. Obviously, Nate's a little different because he had 2 years instead of 1. But yeah, I think there's a bunch of factors at play. That was one that was a positive to see a guy like Nate have success. And I've shot him a couple texts as far as, I mean, everything as little as, hey, you've gone through this. Where would you live if you were me and do this and doing this stuff again? But yeah, no, it's great to see him do well.
Where are you?
I'm living just down the road at one of the apartment complexes. Checked out all the ones in that kind of area and landed on one. And
The south side then, is that like just up the street? Like,
yeah, literally just up the street. Be able to walk to workouts in the morning, and once I'm done with you guys, I'm literally getting the keys and the lease is mine.
Are you have you thrown to